One of the biggest issues that I had when it came to almost 3 years ago now that I've had sex, but when I would make love with a woman or have sex with a woman, I'd be passionate and I'd be caring and I'd be sweet and I'd be kind because I treated every woman like a woman, not like my woman. But every woman that I treated like a woman wanted a man that would consider someone that they would call my woman like that. And that's why most girls would like me and then get mad at me because I didn't want to stay with them or want to see them again. Or they would stop calling me because it hurt that I was with a girl or something like that, because it was always during the time I was dating. And it wasn't something I meant to do. Like, the girl I was dating knew I was doing it. It wasn't a secret. And then it got to the point where she said, don't say anymore. And I said, okay. So then it turned into a secret that wasn't supposed to be a secret, but then she'd get mad when it was weird stuff. And I'm glad that I went through it all, because if I wouldn't have, who would I be now? I mean, I'm sure that's what happened eventually. The signs lead to my birth now, but I'm glad. I think we all have this too. That's the weirdest thing. We all, of course we do. So I mean, when I say I think, it's just from my Dan Alexander point of view. I haven't dived into anybody else's finishing the game version, because why would I want to? Because that would really fuck my head up, man. Nobody else has ever seemingly done it ever before in this existence. So like, we watched Zathura today, which is Z through A, and I was telling them about the Land of Oz being A through Z yesterday. Like, not with Zathura. This was like in the morning. Like, Mom and Dad watched it the other day. I didn't watch it because I wasn't going to watch it with you. And Jazz and Leo watched it yesterday afternoon, and I was talking to Mom yesterday morning about, I've been reading the book The Land of Oz, and I realized that it doesn't say it anywhere in there, but I remember, and this is like bomb, dude who wrote it, I remember thinking A through Z. Oz. A through Z, you can't just write A, Z. Oz. It just looked weird, so it turned into an O, which I told you about the 1, 5. 5 is an energetic expression, which is an E, which is just like A expressed. So it's instead of an A-Z, it's an O-Z. It's like an A expressed, but it's an E. See what I'm saying? It's 5 powers away. Like, 5 is the power letter, 10 is the 10th letter. And it goes that way in numbers and letters, both. It's crazy. I meant to say number when I said 10 and 5, but I've been talking about letters so much, I think. Yeah. Sorry that I'm talking to you and the phone, because you're more important, and the phone is just catching what I'm saying. I started with the stuff about the sex, but I always treated women like a woman, not my woman, how I think a woman should be treated. And then I always treated my woman like I thought my woman should be treated. But she didn't think I should treat other women like a woman should be treated. She wanted me to treat them like someone else should be treated. And that doesn't make sense. It didn't even make sense to me then when I was trying to date, because I thought common things are people date people. You know what you're supposed to do? I mean, I knew better. I knew I wasn't able to settle down. But what are you supposed to do when you care about more than one person and you're in a world full of people who get jealous about everything? You know? You beat me in a game. You think someone that you can't, like, that can't lose a game of whatever, or if you interrupt something when they're trying to hear it, or, they're watching their show and you want to watch the show, and, they'll be like, oh, and nowadays everyone goes off on their own and does their own thing. Do you think someone's going to really be happy if you like another person? No. It turns into a competition. That's all it really is. That's even a competition. Like, we compare because we learn from, we look at the wrong sides of stuff and we think we're supposed to be happily ever after. And it's not anybody's fault that even people that were partially, what I would say, enlightened at the points when they wrote, when they met those parts of them and their creativity. But then they would also have their human natures. They'd date people and they'd dumb themselves down with the meats and all that kind of stuff, and they would just have things happen. Some people lived their names, like, because Walt Disney, Walter, is also Dan's big brother on Zathura, A through Z. We were talking about Land of Oz. That's an echo right there. I was talking about the Land of Oz with my mom 2 days ago, and I've been reading the books last week, and then I saw Zathura in the thing just after I was reading the book. Like, not reading, but I listened to a bunch of the audio books, and then looked through the 65 different books that are Land of Oz. But was I telling you about that? Were you here when I was talking about, or it was you I was telling about? And I showed all the book titles and all that stuff.
Maybe you were saying something about it earlier.
But that was like before we saw Zathura, remember? Wasn't it? Because Zathura, that was just like a week ago. But so listening to the audiobooks of the Book of Oz and talking about it like.
Well, you said something about it today too.
I was just saying, do you remember was it you I was talking to that about when I was like weeks ago when I was listening to audiobooks of the Land of Oz and Tin Man and I had never mentioned any of that.
Oh yeah, no, you did say that.
Yeah, so then that was a while ago, and then we saw Zathra just a week ago. That's what I was trying to say. Like, it's weird that like my echo stuff, the more I start tuning in, I was telling Mom and Dad, Zathra, whatever you just watched today. But anyway, we just got that video just.
I just thought that you were saying that was what we watched, so we keep going.
No, I was trying to say, since I'm recording, I'm trying to show how weird echoes work, like in life. I would listen to the audiobooks and read through all the stuff about the Land of Oz because I know there's more to it that my mind will remember from being that energy. So it doesn't mean that I even tapped into using my mind through some spiritual ways because I left a key for myself to use in the real world because I've been all those people and all those people that didn't even know that there was the key. I put it there, like people that have been doing enlightening practices, and I'll learn stuff as Dan. That seem like they put the video, and it says a video 8 years ago or something like that. It'll be something that I put out, so through time it would show up. So that's what I was trying to tell you. The timelessness thing is fucking weird and crazy because people say it's what you look for. I'm like, no, it's what you create. When you look for something, you actually create it. And other people are like, nope, it was already there. I'm like, was it? Was that person already there? Yeah, but when do subjects pop up? When you look for them. It's weird. It's really weird. You ask and you shall receive. It's the weirdest thing, and now we have a way to do that. Then you can use my number and letter thing and actually understand if it's right or wrong. It's weird, but it's awesome. It doesn't work if it's not right. It won't add up. So the last thing I want to say about that is I was saying that was something I did like over a week ago, and then when we went and saw the movie at the Walmart when I got it, that was like last week or like 5 days ago, wasn't it? You were with me when I got it, weren't you?
Yeah, it was last week.
Because I was like, oh, because you're like, it's got goosebumps.
Yeah, it was that. Oh, we watched the Goosebumps last week.
Yeah, so we got it like the day before.
Yeah.
Or that day. Saturday.
Oh, yeah, we watched. I think we got it like Friday and watched it Saturday.
You were off weird days. Weren't you over on Monday? Actually, it was Monday. You were there Monday and Tuesday because I took you back. No, I took you back Saturday night. So it was Saturday. Friday or Saturday. Either way, so we just got it Friday or Saturday, and it's not even it's a week, and it's 2 days later. And like last week, during the week before up to the weekend, I was listening to the audiobooks of Oz, Land of Oz, and then Zathura, which is Z through A, the land of A through Z, Land of Oz. Like it echoed big time, and the main character is Danny. You know, and then you'll see what I mean if you go through the whole Tin Man with the T and the I-N. There's a Tin and Dan. And I told you about the P's and the D's. It's fucking crazy. And then if you go through all of them, there's weird names with my mom, dad, brothers. The Land of Oz is fucking crazy, dude. It's me. It's all of me and pieces of me and you. It's fucking weird. So I want to keep recording this because it's very intense. Like, okay, I'll keep recording this then. But I just want you to at least know the one part is that I wanted to at least record how freaky it would be for anybody else to realize that it's not because I looked for Zathura. It's because I listened to the audiobook and then studied the Land of Oz. And I said to my mom, it's the land A through Z. And then we see the movie Zathura. So I grab it and, it's Z through A. So no one can dispute that that's what it fucking says, Z through A, Zathura. And it's spelled that way, Zathura. So, I mean, that kind of shit is so weird. And the main character in Zathura is Danny, and he had a brother named Walter. And I talk about Walt Disney, and Disney is D-I-S-N. D is and are both things that are as of this moment, as is. Those A-I and A-S-A-S-I-S are interchangeable in a dominant, divinish kind of sense. A is all things, I is identified. So, of course. So, like Walt Disney is Walter and Danny. Of course, right? Yeah. Oh, duh. But nobody sees that shit. But it's right there in front of us. You know what I mean? Like, well, you're just putting that together. I'm like, no, it's stuff I talk about all the fucking time. And it's everywhere. No matter where I look, it's there. How often do I bring up Walt Disney being enlightened and shit like that, and the dude from Nintendo, and there's so much shit, huh?
Quite often.
Yeah, I mean, at least I pointed that out, you know. And then I got to pee, so he got to pee. So I'm gonna quit this recording because I meant to say just a little thing, and it was like 10 minutes now. So peace.